Hello and welcome back to my Tarot Corner. So this might not be high in the news today, but I still want to do a reading about that. And Michelle Obama is going out on a tour to promote her new book. And there are a lot of familiar faces in the brochure she put out. Of the people that she's going to talk to or meet during that tour, and familiar people like Jay King, Tyler Perry, Huda Habab, I think her name is, who interviewed Harry after while he was in the Netherlands for the Invictus Games, and he told her that he's looking at his grandmother's the people that are around her, and making sure that the right people are around her. Yeah. Okay, so a lot of people, even Ellen DeGeneres is there. So a lot of people that are known, friends of Meghan, and people that at least supported her in the past. Tyler Perry even called her his princess in her last birthday, and amazingly, Rachel is not on the list. So I'm going to look into that relationship, and I believe that many people were that Michelle Obama was appalled. At least that's what many people say about the way Meghan treated the Queen. That Michelle Obama had a lot of respect for the Queen, and the fact that Meghan decided to go after the royal family and the Queen and made the Queen feel so bad is part of the reasons why Michelle was turned off Meghan. And we know that Meghan and Harry were not invited to Barack Obama's 60th birthday, and now she's not invited to talk to Michelle Obama about her new book. And this could actually be a very good podcast for her. And I already did a reading about why isn't Michelle Obama on Meghan's podcast list of participants. But this one is going to be why isn't Meghan on Michelle Obama's list of participants. So I'm going to use the Kachina knife again because, as I said in the past, it's one of the best tarot spreads to look into a relationship between two people. And I'm using this sweet Twilight tarot, which is kind of dark Twilight deck. Okay, so let's start with Michelle Obama and the card that represents her. And what I'm getting here, let's take this one, is La Luna, the moon. Okay, so the moon is the mother card. And this sometimes shows us a person that has problems with her mother, but also a person who is a mother herself. And we know that Michelle Obama is a very good mother to her daughters. But this card is a tricky card. It is a card that shows us mental instability and problems and emotional problems. And I believe that Michelle Obama, at least in everything that is connected to Meghan, has emotional problems. So this is an emotional decision more than a logical one. And this card shows us a person that is prone to depressions and sometimes even confused. So I think that in everything that is connected to Meghan, she probably sees all of the emotional problems that arise from being associated with Meghan, being even in her vicinity probably triggers a lot of things that Michelle Obama probably doesn't want to think about from her childhood, from her past. So this is how Michelle Obama treats Meghan. Let's see, how does Meghan feel towards Michelle? And what I'm getting here is the Hanged Man, but in reversed, I think. Yeah, the Hanged Man, we can see here that the Hanged Man is not the main person here in this card, but this person here is the main person. The Hanged Man is behind him, and it is in the reverse. So the Hanged Man speaks about changing point of view. Both of them are major arcana, so it is interesting to note. And the Hangman is about changing perspective and believing that everything will be okay. But when it is in the negative, it is someone who feels that he is self-sacrificing himself, and someone who is stubborn and stuck. And this is how Meghan is in regard to Michelle Obama. So she believes that she would sacrifice everything in order to be on Michelle Obama's list of invitees. She would have sacrificed herself, but she's also stubborn and she's stuck. She's unable to go forward in that relationship. Is unable to change the way that Michelle Obama sees her. And she's in between. And she doesn't have the energy that she needs to change things and to go forward. So Meghan is stuck, and Michelle maybe gets some bad vibes from Meghan because it reminds her of things that she doesn't want to think about. Okay, so let's see what was in the past between these two ladies. Let's go to this side. And the card that I'm getting is another reversed card, and it is the Six of Swords in the reverse. So the Six of Swords is the vacation card. It's the card of someone who is going usually from a stormy water towards calmer waters. But here we see this angel that is, her eyes are covered, and she's been taken on this stretcher by two people. One is actually a skeleton. So this is more like a person that is being led to some sorts of sacrificial ceremony, being sacrificed in a way. This is how it resonates to me. And the Six of Swords, when it is in the negative, we're talking about the psychological interpretation of this card. It speaks about a difficulty to persevere, a tendency to run away from problems and not face them, and being cards of addictions, a card of someone who is relying on others and falsely believes that the situation won't advance anywhere, someone who has the tendency to give up. And this is about a temporary relationship. So the relationship that we could have seen, with Meghan and Michelle in the past, when she was still a royal, was a temporary situation. That was not something that was going to go further, and that is from several reasons. The first one is that Meghan was unable to persevere and to stay in the royal family, and she has the tendency to run away from problems, and this is exactly what she did when they left. This is about also Meghan falsely believing that no matter what, she cannot do anything to change that situation. But it is also about Michelle believing that never mind what she says to Meghan, never mind how she tries to talk to her, nothing will change, because that's the way Meghan is. And this is about Michelle giving up on that relationship, giving up on that friendship. And Meghan, in a way, feeling that she's being sacrificed, which goes very well with the hangman in reverse. So that's the past relationship, which was a temporary relationship. So what can we see for their relationship as it is today? And what I'm getting here is the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so as you can see here, the woman in the Eight of Pentacles is looking towards Michelle and not towards Meghan. And why is it? Because the Eight of Pentacles is a card of someone who knows that he needs to work hard in order, even if he doesn't get paid a lot. This is about getting the experience. This is about working hard in order to know how to work better in order to make more money in the future. This is about working today for your tomorrow, thinking about the future. And this is something that Michelle has done very well when she was a lawyer, when she was the president's wife, and then as an author. She never expected things to happen to her because things just happened by themselves. She worked hard, and this is what this card shows. She worked hard, and she looks at Meghan as someone who doesn't work hard, as someone who is looking away from this, doesn't want to look at the need to get experience in order to get what you want. You want to deserve more. So if you want to deserve more, you need to get experience for that. And you cannot expect to be paid millions of dollars without having any kind of credentials. So this is exactly what Michelle has done and Meghan hasn't. And this is why it is in between them, because Michelle is really looking at Meghan in contempt in a way, because she sees a person who is expecting everything to fall into their lap without doing anything to deserve that. So what can we see for the future of that relationship? And what I'm getting here is the High Priestess in reverse. So we will not know much about that relationship in the future. We will not discover much about it. This is the third major arcana in this spread. This is a card of mysteries. This is a card of secrets, but this is another card that shows us difficulties, emotional difficulties. Because it is in the reverse, it shows confusion and lack of clarity. So this could be very much what Meghan will feel in regard to Michelle Obama. She will never really understand why Michelle doesn't want to be in contact with her. And this is about also a person that lets fears manage her. And this is what we know that Meghan is doing. She lets fears manage her. And you can see here that the card is looking at, in this oblique way, into the Hanged Man. And so this is more about Meghan and her mysteries and her secrets that Michelle doesn't like. And Michelle will have problems in hiding her true feelings about Meghan, and as time goes by, it will be more and more evident that Michelle doesn't like Meghan at all. Okay, so advice for Michelle, and the advice for Michelle, let's take this one, and is the Fool, another major arcana. And the Fool comes in the reverse. The Fool is a card of appreciating your freedom, being someone who is very free-spirited, someone who takes risks, someone who starts things, beginnings, and sometimes someone who is agitated and needs change and has some kind of danger of falling and getting hurt. So the advice for and when it is in the reverse, and when it is in the reverse, it shows a person that goes against his own belief and sometimes neglecting things and being sloppy, but is also about burning bridges. So the advice here for Michelle Obama is to be very worried, be very careful not to fall into the pits of the negative aspects of the Fool. So she can appreciate her freedom and the freedom to do whatever she wants in regard to Rachel. It is all in regard to Rachel, of course, but she needs to maybe listen to social dictations and not to be sloppy in letting her feelings to Rachel to come out into the public domain. This is about feeling frustrated and letting sometimes your frustrations lead you. But this is something that she needs to be very careful about, not to run away from problems and to be very assertive when she takes decisions and be very focused and not to find it difficult to communicate how she feels towards her, so in private. But this card is also about burning bridges, and this is something that is not advisable because when you do that, things have this tendency to come out, and you don't want to be seen as the one who treated Meghan in a wrong way. So, and I'm sorry that I keep confusing Meghan with Rachel, but you know I speak about the same person. Okay, so that's the advice for Michelle, and let's see what kind of advice I can get for Meghan. And the advice for Meghan is the Two of Swords in reverse. So this card shows that Meghan is unable to see reality as it is, and because of that she's unable to cope with reality. This card shows that because of that she is prone to make the wrong decisions. So, and this is even before the card is reversed. This is the card in the upright. When it is the reverse, it shows a reluctance to handle things, thinking that things just will happen by themselves. So that's another card of believing that things will happen by themselves, being very passive, being procrastinating and running away from reality. This is a person that has difficulty to deal with his distress and with his hardships. So the advice card in this, the advice in this card is to tell Meghan to take off the blind from her eyes and see reality as it is. And once she sees reality and she copes with reality, then she can make the right decisions. But she needs to get out of this fantasy world she lives in and to realize that the reality is very, very different from her fantasies, and to understand that the way that she's treated by Michelle Obama is all due to her own doing and her own way of treating other people. And if she wants to succeed in any way, she needs to take the blinds off her eyes and see reality. Okay, so I'm taking a card from the Enchanted Spell Oracle, and this is advice for Michelle. or energy for Michelle. So let's see what we get. And okay, so what I'm getting here is ritual. So let me check what it means. Okay, so it's interesting because this card is around the moon, and this is the priestess of ritual, and she is about to embark on a powerful ritual of the moon, and she has the moon here drawn in indigo, and moons here and all the phases of the moon around her. And it's interesting because what the card that we got for Michelle was the moon card, but the message of this card is that it is time to honor the fact that an important era in her life is coming to an end and a new phase is beginning. And it will come with mixed emotions. She will enter this brand new stage in her life, and it is important to honor the past with a meaningful ritual, which is the ritual of the moon. So this ritual can help temper the waves of exhaustion, irritation, and feelings of inertia as she tries to grasp onto the old energy that she knows so well. So that ritual can help her to let go and allow herself to move into the next phase. So the next phase is Michelle, the authoress, and maybe people do talk about Michelle becoming a politician herself and running to office. So this is a time of changes for Michelle, and the last person that she needs to accompany her in that voyage is Rachel Ragland. Okay, so this is it for this reading. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video, write me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.